So we are live, and I'm joined by Joe Herbie, and I hope you can hear us now.
Everybody.
Yeah, and starting soon, the Retro Champions League finals. We had a top 8. We both played in the top 8, but we didn't make the finals, but these two guys made it. Bkippel versus Feldman. And here you will see the matchups. Maybe, Joe, you can talk a little bit about the matchups. You know their decks pretty well, I think.
I do. All right. So Brad is going to be playing ROPS with ATSTs. His deck is pretty straightforward. I think we've seen a lot of that. And then his light side is Throne Remains with Home One and Anger, Fear, Aggression in order to engage, which I haven't seen a lot of that deck. I think we saw it in the Classic No V tournament that Pat won. So in my mind, this is kind of like an emerging new deck this year in the retro formats, and it's really good. So, and then Paul is going to be on bringing before me with ties and probably some dirty tricks that we haven't seen. And he's on Mind What You Have Learned for his light side, and I think he tests to like 2 or 3. I think he's playing your Fear Aggression, and he's probably playing some tricks in that deck as well.
Good. I already joined the game, so maybe you should join that now too.
Oh yeah, is it okay?
And
So it's
yeah, I
going.
didn't see that it's already up. They didn't wait for us to give the go. They just assumed that we are ready. So we are always ready.
Oh, it's going. Right. Okay, so Brad is going a little aggressive to start. He's going straight out instead of going to like Executor Docking Bay or Death Star Docking Bay. He's going right to the planet. So kind of an aggressive opening.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, DRTORCH, so Feldman only activates 5, and he knows he did probably watch the replays, not the replays, but the streams of Feldman's games, and assumes that there's no danger there. And yeah.
Yeah, Brad is probably safe on turn 1. I assume he's going to try to flip as fast as possible. Maybe get out, search and destroy, and start trying to damage him as quickly as he can.
And I think Feldman is playing Anger, Fear, Aggression non-V, so he wants to flip fast to pull a prophecy. Protection Telepathy is the name, to prevent the Anger, Fear, Aggression, because I think Feldman will play very passively until he has enough activation, and then, yeah, go for the beatdowns.
That's right. I think that's right. And I don't remember, but I don't think Brad is playing Resistance. I think he's just playing like 1 Telepathy, maybe 2. So that'll probably get grabbed. So it'll become a factor in this game.
So that's here to play the grab up for free and for the training Destiny +1, but so I assume he's definitely playing some grabber, because if he doesn't, he can cycle the interrupt with his objective to always pull it for 2.
Right.
I guess it's also hard to make pressure for Bkippel unless he has to occupy battle plan pretty fast, because he can't pay to train for 1. That's just not worth it. And as we know, Feldman is always playing the always think about your stomach thing.
Oh yeah. Lost in the Wilderness. He likes that card, so he's probably got one of those waiting. And my mind went to battle plan as well. I mean, that's probably going to be the key to this game. So I'm curious to see what kind of space DRTORCH has in his deck, because at some point Brad is going to need to go to. He's probably playing Kashik, so
probably
he's going to need
Falcon
to go there.
And Home
Probably
1.
Falcon. I think he's playing. Torch is playing. He's training Daughter though, I think. So he's not going to have Super Falcon. He might have some kind of Falcon.
The Daughter, you mean, because he can't put the layer with the Han Solo?
That's right. Yeah,
there's vulnerable to Sekis if he doesn't have it.
Right.
So no battleground system at the moment.
No battleground.
You think light or dark side is favored here?
It's hard to say. I feel like dark side is favored. However, I don't know. With DRTORCH, you never know what tricks he has, and he usually has a lot of them. So he may have some surprises to even this matchup a bit. and I think he's probably going to want to try to get down.
Talking about
Jedi.
surprises, he also likes Surprise Assault. Or is this the dark side version, light side version counter?
And he does like Surprise Assault.
That could be good against ROPS, actually, because they don't have the strongest characters all the time.
Yep. Yeah, not so good against ATSTs though. Like once the guys are on the ATSTs.
That's right.
But Torch is going to be looking for Jedi Luke to get him down to the planet as quick as he can, I think. You know, and then I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but he might be trying to do some order to engage damage along with his anger, fear, aggressions. He might have some retrieval in this deck too.
On the edge, probably.
Something like that. I should know that, but I haven't watched all the replays, so I don't know exactly what he's got.
We want to get surprised too.
So Brad's on a really quick flip here, which I think is to be expected.
But the Doctor has a lot of activation, so... But we probably will see some barriers, and you don't need to fear Sense or Alter in that with Mind What We've Learned. So I think he adds to... Doesn't he add to... No, it's forbidden, right? It's something like...
It adds 4. It adds 4, so...
Adds 4, yeah.
You know, Brad would have to get out. You know, he'd have to do a 0 with Mara.
It's possible. It's possible with a Yoda.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean if like Torch plays Sensor Alter?
Yeah, but
I would be surprised if he is, but he might.
Might be crazy enough.
So it looks like Brad is going super aggressive. He's probably going to just try to push as much damage as he can. Go for the search and destroy, and then you know, maybe he'll set up for battle plan. I assume he will.
If he wants to be aggressive, he has to do it, because at the moment it doesn't threaten any damage, because it... Oh, Stone Pile. That's a cheeky one.
Stone Pile could be a dirty card if it gets, like, if he gets some ships with it, or he gets projected telepathy. Even if he gets some Brad's grabbers, that could be bad, depending on what kind of surprises Torch has. Like, he likes to loop interrupts, so if he has something that he can abuse late game, and you know.
How you think about that sides package in ROPS versus the other one? I played the other side package with the free movement.
Oh, you like the spaceport?
Yeah. You prefer this over the other?
I do. I like the desert too, though. I like to put the desert between the docking bay and the rest of the sites. Because sometimes, like, you know, people will bring over Jedi Luke from home on docking bay to the spaceport, and then you put the desert next to it, and they're, you know, sometimes hesitant to march any further into Ralter because of Sand Whirl. So I like to play it. Like, sometimes I'll do the Sand Whirl, sometimes I won't. I haven't tried the spaceport though, so you know, I don't know how good it is. Like, what's your perspective?
So I like the free movement and the plus from the leader on the other side. And because with battle plan, that one side is basically to initial plus 3 force, it doesn't matter at all because it's still 0 if you have the battle plan.
Okay.
But yeah, well, I can see both versions.
And I guess if you're doing like troopers, the free movement can become more valuable instead of paying like 5 or 6 force to move a stack of guys. You can just kind of shuffle the stack between sites for free. I think it's free.
And I modified the open list back to Destro 2, and there I played that version. So maybe that's the reason why I still played in Destro 2.
Did you play ROPS in the Final 8?
I played ROPS, yeah, with the other ones, with the other sites.
Okay.
So what the thing is here, Feldman plays a lot of, He doesn't want to get, he denies here the force drain, he has the battle plan, and he has every time in the world, unless, until Bkippel threatens any real damage. So he probably, he's at 19 cards in hand. He's probably looking for a beatdown and then grabbing the Gug and then laying down a second beatdown. That could be an option.
I mean, I think Torch's style, he's going to get his traffic control out. He'll cycle through his whole deck, so he may draw even further than 19. You know, he likes to draw big hands and get out traffic control to put stuff back and just keep going through to get all the cards he needs. There's the search and destroy.
That's a good
I
one.
think that's a really good one. I mean, I think that's going to be Brad's main vehicle to do damage here. Curious to see though, like what Torches do for ships.
He has probably some kind of barrier, something like that, at least.
Yeah, I assume Brad does.
DRTORCH here losing the Grimdarch. He usually plays at least 2 as a Noim.
He usually plays 2.
Yeah, he loses 1 to say, Brad, I lost it. You can draw up to like 15 and then, yeah.
And 2 is sneaky just because, you know, after you burn up the 1, people tend to go crazy drawing and then they get hit with the second one. Yeah, unless you've been stung by that too many times, which it sounds like I definitely have been from DRTORCH, so familiar with that one.
Did you see any tattoo insights and beggar in the replays you watched from Torch?
I did not see that, but I would not be surprised by it either because Paul.
I mean, he plays the insurrection. That's easy to pull tattoo in Docking Bay.
Yeah, I would wonder about that. So that could be an option. You know, he plays X-Wing cannons sometimes too, just randomly. So that could come into play if he takes over Kashyyyk and gets Jedi Luke down to Ralter, gets Order to Engage set up. You know, we could see him start to do some damage through that, but I don't know what his ship package looks like, and that's going to be a big factor in this.
Yeah,
I think he likes landing.
Would be fun to see it when he's drawing Destiny for training. Oh, there is the first Angafir aggression. So if I'm Bkippel and I don't have the projection telepathy in hand, I probably would not activate a lot of force because there is no now he needs force maybe. But if he wouldn't have come down, he can only activate like 5 and then try to pull the interrupt to cancel the Angafir aggression.
Right. Does he have the cannon? No. Might have hyper escape or something.
And Jared points out that these guys play very fast. Yeah, so I think Bkippel is the guy I played most on Gamp in all the formats, and it's most of the time those games are very quick because he's blitzing out the turns. Doesn't need to think about a lot because he saw everything 100 times.
So he is playing the cannon. I kind of feel like Torch expected a barrier there, so I wonder if he's got something else to protect his leader, like maybe a hyper escape. I'd also be curious if he's doing something like narrow escape on the ground, which can be really, really strong against ROPS.
He didn't activate the Angafir aggression. He probably would have loved to activate it now because he definitely wants to. Maybe he doesn't even want to battle.
Well, I guess if he has another ship.
So one will get shooten down. But every movement, like Hyperscape or the other one who can move away after the weapon phase, costs 1 force.
Rapid fire.
No, not rapid fire. Rapid fire pulls the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hit and run.
Yeah, hit and run is the right.
Yeah. He is playing He Could Be Warriors. I don't know that that's a card that Brad would grab. I don't think that's a grab in this matchup.
So if he has the Lost in the Wilderness, he will play it on Mara Jade. So I might not even want to drain there.
Yeah, let's see if he does. No, because he's calling the bluff. Oh, there it is. He called it.
Yeah.
That's a strange card to see too. Intruder Missile.
I mean, you
So
usually find them with your scouts if you play scouts because they add to the searching destiny, but still it gives him the possibility to flip him back easily if a second side is available.
oh, Brad does play blaster controls. Okay.
Also, the training for zero, as Solomon pointed out, would be crazy if he is surprise assault.
If he's doing intruder missile, my guess is he's doing surprise assault.
So the drain of zero was pretty risky here at the forest.
Yeah, that might have just been a mistake, I assume, right?
So that's a good one now because to what did he use his force? Where was the third force? Yeah, it could be worse. I think that was a mistake because now his destiny will be zero. And
yeah, I agree with that. I didn't notice that, but that's a good call. That didn't really do a lot for him, and as we see now, he needed that cannon.
Yeah, to make Sackers lost. It's rarely the case that we see a Torch make mistakes, but I think that might have been one.
This is gonna hurt because he's gonna peel 5 here.
5 is, if there's Gurk, normally Lightset doesn't play a lot of Gurks because you can't pull it. It's the Darkset player usually plays I mean, the Lighted player doesn't play Hutchix because you can't pull it, but the Darkset player can pull it with Masterful Move. So if he would have drawn better than 1, he would have peeled even more.
Right.
And now he might be peeling a lot more if Vader hits Obi-Wan.
Yeah, this could be bad. This could be a big turn for Brad. So it feels like the game's kind of swinging his way. The momentum's going to start going his way after this because he's going to have.
I wonder also why he put down the Anger Fear aggression. I mean, he didn't activate it, the Anger Fear aggression. But if you don't have a lot of like barriers or something like that, but maybe he had the barrier, but there was a blaster controls.
That's what I was thinking. He might have had the barrier and was expecting to be able to barrier whatever came next, and then. But even if he did that, he couldn't shoot down Fett, so he only saved 3.
Did Bkippel pull something this turn or not? Because if he did, it was pretty pretty lucky that there was the 0 on top.
Yeah, so could he have tracked that? I'm trying to think back, and this is where I need to pay a little more attention. Or is that like a blind?
It's probably a blind one because I don't see a way to that he have tracked it at this stage of the game.
I wonder why he did that at this point, you know?
So there is no hit, so there is also no overflow.
That's good because it could get kind of dicey here if Torch was peeling.
After that game, I'm searching the chat if he pulled something. Okay. No Destiny draw.
Oh, he's going to uncontrollable Fury that Vader. He's going to Fury that Vader, I bet. That's the only reason he would leave him.
The uncontrollable Fury, you mean? Yeah, maybe.
He's going to put that on Vader because why wouldn't he clear him otherwise? Like, why would he leave him out?
Because if he wants to lay down a beatdown, Bkippel saved no force. He probably would go after those little guys. But maybe not. Maybe go after Vader.
I mean, one thing he could do is if Torch has got 2 characters, he might be able to kill Search and Destroy this turn. If he has like Tazkava and like a main or something, he could go take out Vader. No, there's the Fury, so
yeah,
that's what it was for.
a lot of lot of a lot of damage without battling or force drain in that format. Uncontrollable fury, anger for aggression, order to engage.
So that was a lot. So what? Brad's got 28 in reserve.
Probably see a flip him
Torches.
back here. Maybe attentive. Or flying to... Oh, no. Not even that. Interesting.
Well,
Because it opens up... but he has to play it, right? That he loses to Uncontrollable Fury. He has to have a character of ability, but there are enough characters of ability greater than 3 on table.
oh yeah, that's not going away.
And now you give him
to...
an option to battle again to not lose to anger-free aggression.
Let's see though. So it's going to be difficult for Brad to come at OB now because he's got Mara missing, Vader's in the table, he's got Test 2 out. So
Yeah, but I don't think he will get any overflow with any character of ability 4 because of the plus to Destiny.
right.
I think Bkippel now really regrets grabbing the signal. I regretted it in my games when I grabbed not all power to weapons, but a damn Twilight Advisor.
I think against this kind of deck, I think you're going to be looking to grab the on the edges or something more abusable. I don't know.
So if he plays the Trooper who subtracts from the retrieval, he doesn't care about it.
Besden. I don't think he plays that though.
I love that guy.
It's good. It's good, and it's especially good against these kinds of decks. I mean, that card single-handedly beats hidden base mains, and
there is another one.
Oh.
But it missed.
You missed it.
Torch's decks are the most cheesy ones in the Star Wars universe.
He gets around Test 2, I think. Colonel David John. Let me read Test 2.
I think Test 2. You mean 6 ability?
Yeah, he gets
2?
around. So
yeah,
David John is like the one character I think he has left besides. No, that'd probably be like the one character that could draw on his own left in the deck that he could deploy to that site.
But he has a use pile. He has a reserved deck pull, so
right.
It's easier to find that stuff. Is he scout too? So this will be an 8.
Evader's kind of a
interesting
scout, card to play in this format.
And now he gets pinged again from Search and Destroy. So maybe that's also one reason Paul Feldman put out a character.
Oh, totally. Well, I mean, if Brad didn't have that card, if he wasn't able to pull that into his hand, I don't know how easily he could go kill Obi because he's not going to get a Destiny draw.
So where are the deaths located? Ah, here. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. I was searching.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I was looking where the tests are. Because I thought they will be placed here after near the effects when they completed. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Maybe you have the option to do that or something. Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
Or maybe in the open format, it's that way.
No, I think maybe you get the option to place it on the table. I don't know.
It's definitely looking very good for Brad here.
It does. I think at this point, this is just damage control for Torch. Like, how much can he retrieve? How much more damage can he push through? I mean, I don't want to say that prematurely, but
And I
you know,
don't think
Brad
it's
has.
easy. Yeah, I don't think it's easy to win by much with tie swarm, right? Because you have to commit a lot of forces to the table.
Yeah, depending. Oh, so he does have the docking base. So he probably does have. He does have the Tatooine. So he probably is playing bigger. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Then probably first strike is coming, but there is no easy first strike target here to beat down.
Yeah, I don't know what he would play if he has something. Maybe he goes after the one of the ATSTs.
They drive not able to otherwise, right?
Oh, they do. They do. You're right. Yeah. So he won't do that.
They draw. He can't hit this guy,
That draws.
so
Yeah.
he could only add.
Brad's basically he's got out everything he needs to get around test 2.
He can't react though. And, okay, I wanted to say that his Luke not even get around Search and Destroy, but his Han Solo will.
He's just gonna leave Han there alone and kind of play aggressive and try to satisfy search and destroy. I don't know how he can protect him.
He can shuttle, yeah.
I was bringing Luke over.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, that's only a drain of 2. He probably just thinking about getting him down a little bit at least. So what cancels Uncontrollable Fury? Isn't this
You are beaten.
you're beaten?
Yeah. Which Brad is most likely not playing.
If I'm Bkippel, I just lose from hand all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else can Paul do here to close the gap a little bit. I mean, maybe some on the edges. Maybe anger fear aggression hits once. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
at the
think
moment, no secret plans here, which is definitely, yeah, a card with a retrieval who can minimize the differential. You survive a little bit longer. Because I don't think there is a way to go at Luke and Han Solo here. But I might be wrong.
no, I agree. I don't think he's going to go for them. At least not while they're somewhere
It's
else.
only a drain of 1 here, right? Because of the -1. Only a drain of 1. So this effect says you can't basically go after Ralti with any new character because you're low on force here, 11, and you have to pay +4 for any rebel, +2 from the objective and +2 for like not every rebel, but the most important, like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean he'd have to have. Looks like he's just going to bunker in on Ralter and drain him. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't. I would be surprised if Paul is playing another cannon or something. So in the absence of that, I don't really know how we can possibly take Kashyyyk. Um, maybe like I don't know. Maybe he goes in and draws a 7.
The battle plan is very good if you want to, if you're low on force, but still,
Brad
you won't
is
get him down.
a big force at the docking base. If Luke and Han come over, he's got a little like welcoming party for them. He'll probably trample Han when he comes over if he does.
Yeah, Han is easy trample target, but I don't think in that format it's that easy to trample. Like in Obi-Wan, you need a 7, and I think the used 7 are from Coruscant, like the Imperial
Yeah.
artillery
No,
from
it's
Coruscant set.
it's not like you're Thrawn where you're trampling everything.
Yeah. And there is also no sneak attack to put a Destiny on top of your reserve deck. A play I love.
Yeah, that's a good card. Yeah, this is. I don't know. Let's see. So if I was Paul and I was just trying to push damage, I guess I'd try to do some retrieval. He can't really do a surprise assault anywhere. He might have angry for aggression. I don't know. It's pretty tough from this spot.
Okay. So one projection of Skywalker, and there is the on the edge. He checked his destiny with Insurrection, so he knows that he will draw a 4 when he names a 3. Maybe it could be worse. Yeah, there it is. So it's retrieving 3 4s now. Anger for aggression, which is good to retrieve. But he lost one, so it's basically a netto win of 2 4s. And would be good to have another one to then retrieve the on the edge again.
I mean, if he was able to start looping those, which I don't think is going to happen, but if he does, I mean, that's something. But he's going to take 5 right here.
It's 2 4s loss, right? Here from loses 2 4s.
Yeah, like Brad will lose 2 to the Fury eventually, but he'll do 5. Transmission terminated. It's kind of a strange one. You don't see that a lot in Death Star 2 just because of Honor of the Jedi being
So
so strong.
he only loses 4 from the drain. Or why 5?
Cashin.
I think the force drain bonuses are cancelled with the Jedi test
Oh, it's
1.
canceled. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my bad.
But that, no problem. But it's a little bit confusing because we can't see the test and it says all bonus are cancelled, and the second one is that ability 6 is needed. Probably going after Luke and Han now. Like,
You think?
stacking. I think so. If he plays, there is no need why he should play Eager here if he doesn't want to go after him. And then probably put the rest at that docking bay. If your docking bay transits, you have a option to attack him. Yeah, that's what we're seeing here.
Or just like, what is the point of all that? Like, why not just hang out on Ralter, lose your 1, just strain him to death? Like, does this really?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's thinking if he loops.
Also, Brad drawing that many cards right now. I mean, I don't understand that. Maybe he's done some math though that
There is the draw their fire in there, so it's not in hand, which is a good thing.
I don't know. I'm surprised. How many did Brad draw there? He drew 5 cards. So maybe he's counting on losing. He's losing 2 from the Fury and 1 from the Drain.
And it's crazy. Like a few turns ago, you thought he might win by like 20, and now it's down to 12. So although he beat DRTORCH down, Feldman does a good job minimizing the differential.
I mean, and one of the things that people may not consider with Mind What You Have Learned is you don't put very many cards on the table. So, you're losing a lot of force, but your opponents are putting way more cards out on the table, which is cards they're losing ultimately.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just thinking of total cards left. So I think that's kind of like what's going on right now is like, Torch just hasn't really deployed a lot of cards.
That's what I mean with his Bring Him Before Me, that's also a deck where he has to put a lot of on the table.
Right.
And there is the trample, you called it. And it will get grabbed. So I hope he knows his destiny. That would be a brutal miss.
It's a blind trample, I think.
Ooh,
yeah,
it's a
blind. That's not good.
But why did he do that? He could have like activated 9, then pull a card which is a low destiny, and then decide if he can trample or... Because I don't think he wants to attack, he wants to get rid of the Destiny 1 to ping him with Search and Destroy. I think that's what he was aiming for. I myself, if I'm not in a totally weird situation, I try to avoid blind tramples. Only if I have good odds. But sometimes you have just, yeah.
Well, maybe he did.
Take the luck.
Like we're not seeing what Brad sees, so like maybe his reserve is.
Maybe it was a 50-50 call or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is where, in a game this tight, this is where you want to grab things that can be abused to close the gap. So he's got multiple. It could be worse.
Yeah,
oh boy,
Brad.
This is why Torch is so dangerous,
and
especially
he had the second one here. The second grabber, but he decided to go with the out of commission.
Yep, and uncontrollable fury in this situation is just so strong because he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to pay any force for it. It's going to be there forever unless Vader dies. So, Torch is going to be doing 2 damage no matter what every turn.
Oh, there is the second one. So it definitely paid out that he didn't kill the Vader with his Obi-Wan. And he missed again.
No. That's not good. That's not good. Well, this is turning into a more interesting game now.
He might even lose that. But it's lose probably not. So it's... Imagine when Feldman reacts to that battle, then also will be lost because Vader's on table.
I thought I had earlier is like maybe get Vader into the mix and get rid of him. Get rid of that Fury, like bring him over with an ATST and get him fighting and get rid of that damage, because then what does Paul really have? I mean, he can pay 3 to drain for 1 somewhere, but that Fury is really the problem.
Big problem.
Oh, and he doesn't get a Destiny draw here either. I wonder
only
if
one
Brad...
and no weapon Destiny.
He doesn't get one at all.
So let's see what he loses. He probably has to lose the Han Solo, although it starts the ping again, because he will get beaten down in 2 turns. Because he can't move away. Like he can't. So he could shuttle. He could shuttle to his own docking bay, but that would still enable the ping again. So I think it was right to lose the Han Solo here. Joe, still here?
I am. I'm just watching. I'm trying to think of how many more turns Torch can last. So he's got, that could be worse.
You could also think about putting an ATST to Vader, go away with a lot of stuff to hopefully that he will attack Paul Todd Feldman and then react with your Vader to the battle in the ATST.
Right.
And there is the Gook from hand. but Feldman won't make such mistakes. So you can try this sometimes against some players, but not against Paul.
I guess maybe he just draws for his it could be worse survives for another turn.
So it should make the yeah, that was right to make the ping right away after it drew the first card, and it was it could be worse. Okay, I thought I would ping. The first action I could do is pinging because hopefully he doesn't have on the first draw the it could be worse, but he had it. 1, 2, 3 damage now, and one from the ping.
Torch lives for one more turn, so he'll do 2 more. Will he do 2 more or 4 more?
I don't know if can he use the opponent's force every turn. Your turn.
No, not every turn.
Oh, okay.
Only your turn, yeah.
Because if it would have been opponent's turn again, I probably would have activated nothing to not make him use the one force from me with a possible it could be worse in hand, but it wasn't in hand. Okay, we get one more Uncontrollable Fury ping, and so we have, I think, a win by 10 force. But look at that loss pile difference here.
That's crazy. Unless Paul doesn't get on the edge for 6. I don't think so. What's he got left? He's got I haven't been paying attention to the lost cards. Let's see.
There is the Draw the Fire he retrieved with on the edge. That's an interesting card here, the Spy.
Darkly. He's good against
Drone Room.
Or there's good in him. You play him on turn 1 to Purpose Hut and steal loot. They're activating almost nothing.
But then you get pinged, right?
You get pinged, but still crippling.
So GG. Win by 10 for Bkippel. And I think they will start the next probably right away. So the next matchup will be Jarvin 4 War Room against Bring Before Me TIE Swarm.
So he won by 10?
Yeah, he won by 10.
10 and then 16 in lost pile.
So Brad plus 10. Let's see when they put up the table. How do you see the next matchup, Joe?
I don't know. I really don't know.
We probably will see Talon rolls and all that good stuff.
I think Torch is probably going to come out really fast and try to get ties down, start draining and do damage and look for a big beatdown on Brad's Super Home 1. Which I don't know Torch's deck well enough to know what kind of tricks he has for that. Like if he's got set for stun to get rid of major hatch to lateral damage home 1, or if he's got like whatever that effect is that kills the astromech where you can strand home 1, stuff like that.
So 1 would be a problem with that ability. You can only draw when you have ability 6 guy against those ties. But as you said, maybe set for stun. So Bkippel put up the table, but DRTORCH didn't join yet.
I'm curious to see if Brad will invade the Death Star in this game too. Like, will he go after the Emperor and try to take over Death Star too? I guess it'll depend on what he draws in his hand.
Hmm.
We'll see. This should be a good one. I haven't seen a lot of Torch's dark side, so
I think
I have no idea.
he played a similar version. I won one event last year, the Death Star 2 event, and it was in the game 6 final against DRTORCH, and I played Hidden Base, and he played, I think, exactly that deck.
So was it TIE Fighters there, or was it TIE
Yeah, he played
Interceptors?
Bring Before Me TIE Fighter. And
like the one deploy, like premier TIE Fighters.
And
Okay.
I won that game, but after that he wanted a regame and said normally his game should beat mine, his deck. And he was right, he won the regame, but I won the important one, so it didn't matter for me.
Funny.
And yeah, I made a hidden base called Anti-Torch. But I thought he's playing Hunt Down, to be fair.
For me, no comment on whether I have decks called Anti-Torch. I may or may not. But I do. You kind of have to. I mean, he's sort of the boogeyman of the retro formats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen his TIE decks before.
He's pretty decent open player too, but only plays the same 2 decks like forever.
I was gonna say, like, I've seen him play ties, like Bring Before Me ties, but they're more of like beatdown decks. Like they're more of, he comes at you with like, multiple destinies and like Bosk and Zuckuss with Forlom on it and stuff, not like a true TIE swarm with TIE fighters. So this one's a little different than what I've seen him play in the past.
And again, here the probably only for the immediate effects for free, but maybe also against it's also good against Sense and Alter, that when the cards get cancelled, they get placed in use pile.
Right.
Which is especially important for his retrieval effect, right? He can get altered, can't he? I think he's immune to alter when there is something, when you did something. I have to read it again.
Which card are you talking about? Like, I don't think
the dark side retrieval effect for the ties.
Oh, all powers to weapons.
No.
Short range fighters.
No, Selena flight system.
Oh, Selena fleet system. Okay, the one that lets you retrieve whenever you deploy a TIE.
It can get altered, but only if some.
Yeah, you gotta occupy the planet, and then it's immune to alter. Yeah.
So and then if you cancel it, it will get recycled with this effect. So,
right. Brad is a clean sensor alter though, from what I've seen. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. So Brad's not going to be able to sense his all powers to weapons. He's not going to be able to alter his dreaded Imperial Starfleet, which is the Drain Canceller. I think Brad's main weapon to fight him is probably Bigger and Velvet Fire. Yeah. I think Torch actually might run Sense and Alter in this deck too, which might be interesting. I'm not 100% on that, but I think he does. I think he runs a couple.
So both guys at the docking bay to get the +2 activation from these staging areas and mobilization points, and we probably will see the Emperor move over as soon as he wants to deploy some ties, because he definitely want to have the destiny adding effect.
Right. Emperor's power.
Tunnel vision on 5/4, so he probably desperately searching for some activation here.
Probably saw a sight.
Yeah.
Or something that he really wants.
And he's deploying Luke from the objective. And we might see a docking bay transit from Blunt to here. No.
Oh, okay. I don't think Torch is running a lot of ground in this deck.
So I don't know how many spies do you think Torch is running, but that could be a reason why he didn't shuttle him down, because it's too risky.
I don't think Torch is playing a lot of ground beatdown. I think he's probably got Kiet and Merzik to get out the planets, probably some Vaders. I don't think he's got much other than that, though, from what I've seen. what I've heard. Like, I don't think he's going to be doing big ground beatdowns.
Other reason why he would stay with Plant here could be that he wants to just move it to his home one as soon as he deployed it.
Well, where would you move him? Like, do you mean move to the Death Star or move where?
No, I mean, you could have moved him here to get another +2 activation, I mean.
Oh, so off.
To Hoth, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's why I went
maybe.
asking how many spies DRTORCH is playing.
I think he probably should have moved him to Hoth for the activation, unless he's planning on
And that's what I mean.
shuttling
Maybe
him up soon.
he's probably planning to put Blunt to his home one. So he can move him from the docking bay directly to the ship.
You know, honestly, Brad, starting maybe your insight over wise advice might be, or wait, no, he didn't start wise advice. He did insurrection, staging areas, battle plan. Okay, never mind. I had a thought. Doesn't make sense.
So this is not immune to alter, by the way, at the moment, because it doesn't occupy any battleground. But it would get recycled if it gets altered. Let's move Luke there to Hoth. That's a problem with that version. If you don't play a lot of Trixes, you kind of have to go down to the docking base.
Right.
You don't have any activation.
It'd be a little slower than the nudge version, but a little more predictable too. And you get the starting effects. Like having battle plan out is good right now. I think Torch is just going to go super aggressive and try to drain as fast as he can, do as much damage as possible.
So there is the flight system. Now I can check. Immune to alter while you occupy Wakelmui. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I think this is actually a pretty tough matchup for Brad's deck. I mean, I think he's got Falcon and home one. So the problem is like, you know, you want to get out home one and you want to have time to stack up guys on it and make it safe. And I don't know if he's going to get the breathing room to do that.
Yeah, we will see. I think Grimtosh Lost could be good for the Lightside player, for Bkippel.
For sure. And he does have Grimtosh. And I think he might have some retrieval in this deck too to get it back. So
Torch would probably sense it and still grab it because it would get recycled. And okay, yeah, he's definitely looking to set up some good home one. Still, a home one with when he's lateral damaged and is fighting against a lot of ties with maybe all power to weapons. It's no joke. He still can get a lot of overflow.
So it looks like we had a Anger, Fear, Aggression pop. No projective telepathies from Torch, although I think he probably plays at least one or two.
The problem here is he just will retrieve the 4/4s.
Right. Brad, this is the Coruscant. Which is probably, I mean, he can't get from Coruscant to catch it or Endor with home one, so he's gonna play at those later parsecs basically. So he doesn't need that card. Still though, it might not be the worst thing to, you know, put a Falcon on Coruscant, move it over to Wakilmai, and then play the game like that and have home one at the rest of the planets.
We will
Just
see a
because
battle.
of the so he is doing some battling.
So this won't trigger the Destiny cancel.
This is interesting. I mean, normally Torch keeps this guy pretty safe. So he's going aggressive. I guess he's not worried about barrier. He must have a sense or something.
He can't add right now, right? Emperor has to be here. Yeah.
He can add. Maybe he wants to kill that wedge. Or maybe he just wants to satisfy Anger Fear Aggression and just lose Magic. If he just loses him, he covers 6. So Brad would have to draw like more than a 3 to do any real damage. So maybe it's just for the Anger Fear Aggression, and he's already got all the planets out that he needs. So he'll take 1 from this. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just to mitigate the Anger Fear.
Yeah. Got his last system probably, and will retrieve it anyway. But he must have a lot of evasion here if he wants to have a lone tie here. And if I'm Bkippel, I might want to grab that gig. But you have to grab the all power to weapon. That's something you definitely want to grab.
In the chat, I clicked the wrong card.
So we might see a reword because Torch said he clicked the wrong card.
Brad will probably let him. He's pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he lost from hand. It's not like It's not like he lost from reserve deck and said, "Oh, I want to keep that card." So yeah, we will see a revert here, and Destinies will be drawn again, or the Destiny.
It is nice that reverts are allowed these days, because I feel like in the past, long ago, people were very, like back in the olden days, people were very strict and ruthless about that in tournaments.
He loses 1 all power to weapon from hand, so he has multiple of those.
He must.
And expected back them.
So for evasion, I mean, he's got barrier, he's got a Destiny draw there. And Talon Roll is also evasion, right? Like if he comes with a Falcon, he can just suicide his tie.
Right. That's an option. But if it's a draw, you're screwed.
What would be interesting though is if Brad comes with like a 1 and a bigger beatdown on a tie, that would be a really good line to take.
But a draw could actually happen. It's 4 against maybe the power 6 of a Falcon.
24. He's got 24 active right now. If he comes with Bager and it doesn't get altered, like comes a home 1 under that tie, that'd be a lot of damage. I don't know. That's a lot of cards to get into play though. Yeah, I don't think
there's
that's
just
gonna
no
happen.
battleground to deploy there. Draw their fire? There has to be the home 1. He's drawing.
Strange. I don't know why he deployed all those people. Maybe he's just wants them to shuttle him up and he's going to go for it next turn.
Okay. He probably just needs cards and wants to get rid of hand cards to draw to 12. Because that's a big one. But it will get grabbed and maybe sensed.
Nope. Oh, he did it used.
Oh, he did it used.
Huh.
I
mean, I guess Torch can retrieve stuff, so maybe at most. And he lost all powers too from hand, so
but he retrieves with ties, and he would have get rid of every tie. So he just put the draw their fire down to draw 1 more, I guess.
Torch is at 30 and is preserving force pile. Brad's at
And
20.
there is Becker. So this is interesting now.
I would assume.
But he has
Torch
to
is
count
gonna-
the force he uses that he can't get barriered. Like you have to.
Yeah. I mean, and Torch may just have an altar too, and I don't think there's anything that Brad could do to
To
stop
draw
that.
their
So
fire is
maybe,
immune to. You mean because of the Becker? Yeah.
I mean the Beggar, yeah.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, maybe he just consolidates here,
Yeah.
and you can't really beat down those 4 ships that much.
You can beat down suckers if you get to 6 to 7 ability.
Maybe he'll consolidate, maybe not. There's the home one, so he's lost on the edge too. Brad did. Well,
So the home 1 is deploy -5, but deploy +1 here. So it's normally 12, so it's 8 for the home 1.
goes to Endor, it would be.
Would you go after Kashyyyk or would you go after Sagas? I probably would go after Sagas if I get to 7 ability, just because he can't play, but he can't play all power to weapons here too, because he doesn't have a force left.
He probably has Thespeny to, prevent Torch from drawing or make his Destiny 0. Maybe he doesn't though. Torch will get 2 Destinies here if he battles.
He doesn't battle. He will move everything to his home 1.
I mean, if Torch plays something like Point Man, then he can just block those drains and retrieve. And I don't know how Brad closes that gap to, how much did he win by 10 or 12 or
10,
something? I think it
yeah,
was
10
10.
force.
Yeah. And Torch is at 28 right now. It's gonna be hard to whittle that down with just. I don't know though. I don't know. Order to engage, chain of aggression, can do 7 in 1 turn.
At the moment, he will still get pinged from his draw their fire because Honor of the Jedi just prevents from opponent's cards. Must lose from. Except from your cards. So he will still get pinged from his draw their fire.
Right.
And it's also easy to occupy 3 battlegrounds for Torch, probably. But on the other hand, he's open up for 1 more beatdown at other sides. So that will be an interesting turn. He just eats the order to engage and flies away. But then Bkippel can drain for 3 next turn.
3. And then he'll have the saber on Luke, and Luke will be able to ping for 1.
Maybe also suicides his Sakus because he can just retrieve it again. He's just pulling the Gug if he finds it with Masterful Move. Yeah. Got it into hand. Knows where his 6 is.
I mean, Torch can use this draw their fire against him too. I mean, he can send down Vader and put a tie at the docking bay, send the tie to the use pile, retrieve a force.
What we might see is he's suiciding a Sakus, retrieving 1, pinging for 1, and then just deploy some more ties to get them back.
Yeah. wonder why he lost that Falcon. He's got nobody to pilot it, or maybe he's got another one.
Maybe. But he's so low on force already. I mean, he has the bagger. So Torch has to... No, he's not suiciding his suckers. Just eating the 3 and flying away, probably. Or getting his ships over there to suckers, but that probably wouldn't be wise. But Paul will know what he's doing.
Overload. It's an interesting one.
So everything from hand, 1 from reserve deck. And this is a Janus. It's very important to track stuff. Torch is saying, okay, I'm fine. I'm just trading for 2. I'm retrieving what you're doing. So what would be really good here would be Battle Plan. So Battle Plan is out. Oh,
right.
Man.
Battle Plan is out.
It's out from the start. And
I do wonder if Torch is playing point man or if he's just relying on altars for order to engage. I think at some point he'll get out Dreaded Starfleet to cancel the drain. But that direct damage can start adding up really quickly from order to engage in AFA.
yeah. What he could do is like deploy his Falcon here and fly to Wakalmui to make him pay more for the ties, but that's only really a valid play if you also have the effect which makes him pay for retrieval, because other than that he has enough force to do that.
So Torch has got 2 6s set up now. He's got enough to activate down to them. I think maybe we'll see him do some kind of attack somewhere next turn and draw 2 6s for Destiny. So he might go beat up Obi and Blount.
So at the moment he can't get down to his 2 6s. He's only activating 14.
Because of 14, could swing a lightsaber or peel one off the top with Emperor's Power.
Okay, I mean, you mean that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so he hits somebody, draws 2 6s. So maybe he sends Vader with Saber at the Tatooine docking bay and causes some overflow, maybe. Or maybe he fights Hum 1 and tries to kill off a few of the guys, but I think he'll maybe go for the docking bay.
So with Lost in the Wilderness, always think of you can choose what you want to make missing, right?
Yeah,
so
I
he
think
could
so,
choose Obi-Wan.
Yeah. You can see that too, I guess.
There is Beggar. This one is big because he can cancel the Destiny with Tycho because he's a Rogue Squadron guy.
Now he has 3 Destinies set up.
3 Destiny.
2 6s and a 5 now.
Yeah, 1 gets cancelled.
With what?
Does he have Wedge. He has Wedge, and he put down the Tycho. So where is he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe Brad should go high at the Tatooine docking bay. Maybe get out of there. We'll see if he keeps
You think we're going to see a lateral damage?
I don't think...
Does he have the guy who cancels it?
He does. He has him now, so you'd have to stun that.
Yeah.
Even still, I mean, I don't know. Brad's got he gets multiple Destinies. He's got a lot of people to forfeit on the ship.
Another grabber.
But should grab weapon limitation.
He just wants to grab everything he can get, because normally don't think...
well, Brad is now below 10. So, he's in the danger zone firmly. I guess at this point, how does Brad win? How does he close that gap?
think it's very, very difficult matchup for him.
Yeah.
Very good meta call from Paul.
Maybe Torch is going to battle. Maybe.
How many destinies does he get?
Well, it's
Brad?
2 for now. Oh, Brad gets... So I think Brad gets 2. With like Leia adds 1. And then he can cancel 1.
We're definitely not going to crack the immunity unless he gets 2 through. Okay, he's shuffling his deck. He wants to get to the 6s, but
Okay. So maybe he's not going to go to the ground.
he was checking for a...
What's the dreaded fleet, I guess? Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he just runs away and blocks the drain. I don't know.
Probably.
Janus is really...
He can still run away. He can embark everything here. Or ties, and then...
Janus is a big card to lose because he's so powerful in a deck like this when you're able to retrieve at will. And
okay. Now we might see a battle with all power to weapons. That's still overflow.
I think so. I mean, how much will that add? So each of those will be +2. So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Holy
5, 6.
smokes.
So it'll be 12 on top of all of that. So you'll be at 35.
How many can he place in use pile? 1, right?
For what?
Relocator tie just lost from table to use pile. Okay, 1. 1 tie will go to the use pile if he battles and forfeits him. And there is the battle, and there will come the all power to weapon. Probably.
Rich has got 29 in his reserve and other piles now. Or, I'm sorry, 25, not 29.
There it is. And there is another grabber. That's a good grab. A very good grab. And if he forfeits the suckers, he has also have to forfeit the Piet. And if he forfeits his big ship with his forfeit 5, he can't run away. So we're probably forfeiting only ties.
Yeah, and so Torch will get 2 here.
I would let go that through because the other one is probably a 6. Nope. 5. And there is also more retrieval, right? He can also retrieve with... Man. What would I do for shield pull here if I'm Brad?
Yeah, aim high would be good here for sure.
But those are good destinies. So he will lose a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and it's Brad's turn next turn, so he can battle right back into him. And in that next fight,
so there's
don't really
5 ties or 2 ties and suckers, including Piet. Because he has to keep the Dreadnought to be able to run away.
right.
There was the lateral damage, by the way. We were talking about.
Yep. So
1 goes to use pile, and that's 4 more ties. And suddenly, attacking again, not that easy. Unless he has
I think he's
some more
run
ties in
away.
it. And that's why he should have played probably the Grimtarch Lost.
Yeah, that would have shut down some of this for sure. I agree with that. But I don't know. Torch plays like one of those Emperor's Sword or Shields and just retrieves all the ties in one turn. And
Oh,
uh,
okay. Then we will see a battle next turn.
oh wow! So he didn't move the. I figured he would run away. That's surprising.
And there will be withdraw their fire and maybe use his lost force. It doesn't even need to get to sacrifice the beggar if he does that. Only one force.
Unless Paul alters it or something. If he doesn't, I think he's kind of in trouble here.
If he does it, he has to do it right away before he battles, because then he can't use interrupts. So actually, if I would have been Torch, I probably would have just lost ties.
The question now is like, how does Torch do damage? Like how does he push damage through from this point in the game? I don't know if he's going to be able to take space back from home one. I mean, maybe he comes down with a bunch of ties next turn, but
And adding a destiny to get one through also costs one force.
Right.
And he won't crack the 8.
And Brad is going to draw those same destinies again, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention if he tracked to those or not.
So he lost those from hand. They would have retrieved. Would they have retrieved 3? No, it's just replacing. Okay.
I've seen people argue about that. I think it should be 3, but I don't know if that's how it works on GIMP. I guess if it replaces, it's not the same.
So he loses the barrier from hand.
What would be kind of nasty right now is if Torch just ends up losing all this stuff and then drops like Kifex and then puts all his ties to Kifex
Yeah.
and just blocks the home one drain. That could be something that could be a line to play.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up on Torch here, but it was just kind of confusing that he lost his ship which can transport the ties.
Right. I mean, by the same token, he can retrieve all this stuff, and he does have the dreaded fleet in his hand, so he can completely nullify home one's drain. So he may just set up shop somewhere else after he eventually loses all this stuff. He might just redeploy, retrieve all this stuff, and just start the party again. That's what's frustrating about these tie decks.
So he covers 11 plus 8, 9, 17. He covers everything. He doesn't get any overflow. He has to lose the tie first, or he doesn't get... Maybe he even wants to keep him alive and just loses one from hand now and then flies away. Which he does. From reserve deck. Dark Maneuver. But now he loses 3 again from order to engage.
Brad is in a very precarious spot though, because he just doesn't have any cards left. So like if Torch gets a Vader or something and goes and beats up on the ground, or like sets up another planet, or even just manages to spread and drain in space for just a few turns, it really would only take like 1 or 2 turns of draining to get Brad too low to win. And then Torch can just draw. So, Brad has swung the game a lot, but he's still in a bad spot.
He's moved his look here, which tells me that he wants to move for free here. Because normally it costs 8 force, but from here it's just free.
Yeah, I think maybe
he's gambling that either he maybe to get the ping damage from Vader and try to win the Destiny the battles here that he does. And it's still -2, so he would only lose 1 from the duels. And he would ping for 1, so definitely would be good for him to get here and either. Oh,
so here's the Vader.
Okay.
He might even put ties with Vader.
So if he has a sniper or a clash of sabers, this might be GG.
Oh, that you are beaten.
You're beaten, I mean, yeah. Command will get grabbed.
I noticed Brad tends to grab stuff, like whatever it is. And at first I kind of like, he was doing in our game, like things I wouldn't grab, and I raised an eyebrow, but now I'm just kind of like.
Yeah, in the end, you just don't want them to recycle more. So he's suiciding his suckers here. Because he has the gig in hand. You could really think about getting your Luke captured on purpose to make him start with 1 force every turn.
I had wondered if it would be good to move Luke to the Death Star and just go confront the Emperor and force him to pick him up, because like Torch can't really afford to lose that 0-2 sight, lose Emperor's power. So, and I was thinking maybe move Luke over there and drain for more and kind of force the issue.
Bkippel still so short on force. Torch has to draw some ties to cancel. And if he clears here when he hits the swing on a plant,
what if it misses?
Bkippel has to pay to drain.
Well, and Torch can keep retrieving Vader and keep sending Vader at the ground. Torch can block that drain at Kashyyyk every turn with Dreaded Fleet. So he can pretty much, throw cold water on Brad right now. I mean, Brad's got Anger, Fear, Aggression still maybe in there.
So would you here like shuttle to the docking bay and next turn just docking bay transit a bunch of your guys to the battleground side? That could be a valid option.
Oh, like take them off of home 1?
Yeah. I don't think home 1 is in any danger here. I would just leave maybe maybe the Chancellor, or maybe not even the Chancellor, maybe just to get to 7 ability because he just retrieved the suckers. He will get as a force stacked again.
I mean, and Brad is also like basically below the threshold now where Torch could draw up. So he's gotten to like 7, 8 total cards. I mean, unless Brad has On the Edge in his hand, which I think he has in this deck. I don't remember if he lost it. Let me see. Yeah, he lost On the Edge. So unless he's playing multiple copies, I don't know what else could be in his hand that would swing the game to where Torch could.
At least Torch is not, he can't draw up at the moment because he activates to less. But yeah.
He doesn't need to. I think Torch can just keep playing and retrieve more and cause damage here and there and probably win. I don't know that he has to draw up.
So now we're probably going to see a shuttle here. Some shuttle down there to the...
There's the point man, that's big.
Oh, okay.
So now he can spread and drain and do kicks and whatever he needs to do.
But he only has 4 card in hand, so they have to be good.
I feel like we're in GG territory,
And
but
no tie in hand. That's huge. Drain of 3.
he does have the Kifex. I'm surprised he didn't just save that and go deploy to it. So he did have that. Wow. I wonder why he lost that. Maybe he doesn't know.
That's good now for Brad, because he probably wanted to get down to 14 force to draw up. But now... no, he can't draw up. He lost the first game. Sorry. I'm just confused. Those 2 games in a row. Only activated 4 here.
I'm surprised he lost Kifex there.
Yeah.
I mean, Torch probably has some other line in his mind of how to finish this game, so it probably doesn't matter, but I don't think Brad's got any more ships to contest that, and he just drained for 2.
And he still didn't activate the anger fear aggression. The weird thing is, he can't draw too much. That was a big one. We'll retrieve 3 and retrieve Talon Roll Overlord Imperial Command. And if he gets the Overlord in hand and retrieves the Kifex too, and he can track it to make Luke lost.
I mean, so to answer my own question, why didn't he just deploy Kifex and drain? Maybe Torch wants to show how much he can win with this deck, like how big of a win he can do.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gonna flex a little bit. I don't know. Janus is huge in this deck.
So if I'm Bkippel, I still would pay to train for everything and then shuttle Luke to Tatooine to satisfy battle plan again. That was big that he had a tie in hand. That's very big. That's only a drain of 1 for light side. No, 2. Because of the launching to the assault, right. And we see that. He's going... Bkippel only has 1 card in hand. I don't think we saw any Raider for Destiny, so he can't track it with Janus here. But he knows where the Overlord is. If he has a 0, then he could make Luke lost.
Wonder if he'll cancel that. Yep.
So yeah, Brad can draw up if he gets Torch under. Still no anger fear aggression. I lost power. Yeah.
He just one just popped.
So loses 4. He has to battle.
He's probably got a gig. Maybe your call to grab gig wasn't such a bad call earlier.
There's only 1 card in hand. So you think that's the gig?
I hope it is, or else he's in trouble with that tie. Maybe not.
No,
I guess
it's not
he's
a
just
gig.
Gonna soak up the damage.
He can put another tie down to retrieve something. Retrieve Kifex. If he wants to.
Well, he's out of cards, so he'll retrieve it when he battles. I assume he's just going to battle. Oh, he's got the tie from the fleet.
I mean, there is no order to engage, so there is actually no need to battle.
Oh, he could just move away, but
you could ping and retrieve one if you battle, but then you lose both ships.
Can you load that squadron onto the dreadnought?
Hmm?
Can you load the Emperor's shield onto the dreadnought and move away? Like, can you load a squadron?
I think you can.
I would think it counts as 3 ties, but I don't know. Someone in the chat probably knows.
And he battles just to retrieve and ping. Interesting.
Well, to satisfy AFA so he doesn't lose from it. I think.
He loses from the ping because it's his own card, and the Honor of the Jedi just prevents from opponent cards. So he lost Leia with blaster rifle from hand. So this will get cancelled, definitely. And there is the Gook.
Which he can pull with Janus.
This tie here is safe anyway, because Bkippel has no card in hand. So if he draws now and tracks the Gook, then he can suicide even his tie into him to, again, retrieve and ping.
Oh, yeah. He can kill him with his own drawn fire and just keep cycling.
He will get 6 overflow here. So now...
Interesting.
Oh man, that might have been the game loss, because he can't cancel the drain now if he doesn't draw another tie with this one card. And then it's a drain of 4. And then he can just draw up Brad and win the game.
If Brad wins the game right here because of all this, that's pretty crazy.
Why didn't he activate all? If you activate all, you can just draw up here.
I'm still standing by go deploy to Kifex and drain the 2 each turn safely and kill him. But
now definitely don't move to the tie. Just let him drain and then draw up next turn.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Yep.
Okay, it's still pretty safe. He has no card to put his Gook into hand, so he can't suicide him because he would lose on the fly. So yeah, it's the same. Well played from Bkippel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Kippel wanted to show that he wins both games and not just draw.
That was kind of a shocking conclusion to the end of that game.
So, and we have a winner. Bkippel is taking down the Champions League and getting, I think it's a Theed Palace light side rare uncut sheet. Definitely a good one.
Congrats, Brad. Well played. Both games were extremely well played.
I thought it's looking so bad for Brad, but yeah, he managed to pull it off.
I think there's a couple mistakes there at the end, and you know, when everyone's this good, you just can't make any. Like, it's these players capitalize on any little thing, and they're always dangerous, as we saw in both the games. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a stunning conclusion.
Definitely. So very well played. Both of them, especially Brad. And
yeah.
So thanks for watching, and I hope you had fun. And yeah,
Thank you.
That were the matchups, and Brad won both. So let's update this. Brad won. Oh, I have Bart won. And we're finished, I would say. Thanks for joining me,
Yep.
Joe. Pleasure.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
The first time. It was the first time, right?
My first one.
Hopefully not the last time.
Yeah, for sure.
First one. Yeah. So see you guys, and see you, Joe.